Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of TCG Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a new Klinklang. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? There's a new Klinklang coming, and it looks good. I mean, look at the scan on the screen. You can already see it does 200 damage. You know there's a catch, but I'm kind of liking this Klinklang. Now, our translation here has actually been done by me using Google Translate, so I am checking with the lovely Joe from Cerebi.net, and hopefully I'll be able to get in touch with the lovely Antoine Boulet as well, just to double check before this video goes live. But if we start off with the basics, we've got 150 HP, which sucks. That's really bad. Like, really bad. Klinklang should not have 150 HP as a stage 2. Now, having said that, the last time we saw it, it was in Steam Siege of 140 HP, and in fact, it's never had more than 150, but even so, nowadays we expect Stage 2s to have like 160 or more, so slightly upset about that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, in terms of retreat cost, we have a retreat cost of 3, which means we're just out of range of using buff padding. We are just out of range of using something like Pokemaniac. We can't work it in with a Steelix deck, so I'll be honest with you, the basics aren't making me happy. But at least it's got a weakness to fire, which means all those welder decks like Reshiram and Charizard and all the other good ones around at the moment will be hitting weakness. No, wait, that's not a good thing. Come on, Klinklang! The good news is you do have a resistance to grass, which would be way better news if anybody played grass decks. Now, to be fair, being a metal Pokemon does mean that you do have Metal Saucer to accelerate energy, which is quite nice. It means you've got Berserker to do an extra 20 damage with every attack that you make, which is quite nice. There is some good support for metal Pokemon nowadays, not to mention Metal Frying Pan to take away your weakness and reduce damage done by 30, though that will be rotating around about the time this comes out. But we will still have Metal Goggles, which reduces damage done by 30 and stops any damage counters being dropped. And let's not forget that we've still got Lucario and Melmetal, which if you use a GX attack, reduces damage done to all of your metal Pokemon by 30 for the rest of the game. And we've still got that Jasmine card that will search out 5 metal Pokemon on your first turn going second. So at least metal Pokemon have some good tricks, because outside of that, the basics suck. Speaking of sucking, the first attack. 2 energy, 60 damage. Now look, on the one hand, we do have Twin Energy. And I am a big fan of Twin Energy. Twin Energy makes me happy. It means that I can pay the attack cost in 1 attachment. We do also have Triple Acceleration Energy, incidentally, which will pay the attack cost in 1 attachment. But then again, by the same token, it does fall off when you attack, which means it's something I'm just not going to be getting terribly excited about. I don't think it's particularly awesome. 60 damage, I mean 60 damage is fine. There are a bunch of littler Pokemon out there you will get. You are a little bit short of Jirachi, but this might be a good time to remind you about that Berserker card I just mentioned, because then you can be hitting 80 with 1 Berserker, 100 with 2, etc. And 100 damage will get something like a Chinchino. And let's face it, with Boss's Orders being in the format nowadays, we can drag littler Pokemon off the bench and KO them a bit more easily. So there are reasons to use this first attack. At the end of the day, it is a single energy attachment. We can boost up the damage. It's doable, but it's not good, I suppose, is the way that I would put it. It's not good. It's fine if you literally have nothing else. How about that? It's fine if you've got literally nothing else. But the second attack, oh my goodness, I adore the second attack. The second attack for 1 metal, 2 colorless energy does 200 damage. Now, it does actually say, unfortunately, that if you do not have either a Klink or a Klang on the bench, this attack will fail. But it's a basic Pokemon. Like, literally all you need in order to make sure this attack fails is to get a Klink on the bench. And we've got stuff like Quick Ball And we got stuff like Capture Energy when you attach it to a Pokemon, search for a basic and bench it. I mean, to be fair, Klink's got 60 HP, so you could use Professor Owl's lecture here to search 3 of them. At least you can until it rotates out very shortly after this comes out. But that's not the point, gosh darn it. I don't know, maybe an expanded. The point is, you really shouldn't struggle too much with this. I really don't think this is a particularly big deal. There will be the occasional games where this fails, and I mean the biggest issue here is going to be that if you've got 3 Klink in your discard pile and this is your last one that has evolved up into Klinklang, then you won't have one on your bench. Maybe this fails occasionally. There is a chance. I just honestly don't think it's going to be an issue very often at all. There will be the occasional time where this does actually do you in. I will admit that. But when I say the occasional time, I really do mean the occasional time. I think the vast majority of the time, it's just free energy 200 damage. So yes, we have acknowledged the fact that you need a Klink or a Klang on the bench in order for this to work. We're not really going to talk about it much more. Because at the end of the day, this is free energy, 200 damage. And the thing is, it's not just free energy 200 damage, it's free energy on a non-GX metal Pokemon. Why is that relevant? Because metal Pokemon means you can use Metal Saucer, and non-GX non-V Pokemon means that you can use Twin Energy. And all of a sudden, this is a ridiculously payable card. All of a sudden, we are not struggling even a little bit to actually get this attack cost paid. And that's ridiculous. Metal Saucer. Now, admittedly, you do have to be on the bench in order to use this, as in to Metal Saucer onto it. But as long as you're on the bench, you just Metal Saucer, Twin Energy, boom, you're off. That is one of the reasons I'm so high on this. Because actually, it's surprisingly easy to pay. That's why I love this. I'm a big fan of the Copperaja that came around in Sword and Shield. I've again made no secret of this fact. I adore the Copperaja from Sword and Shield. But I'm also fully aware that the Copperaja from Sword and Shield is free metal energy. And yes, we have got Metal Saucer. And to be fair, any metal deck you're playing will probably also be playing Zacian, whose ability you basically draw 3 cards and any metal energy you attach to Zacian. Great turn 1 when you're not allowed to attack or play a supporter. So it ends your turn, but it doesn't matter. And then you essentially use Energy Switch to move the energy, or at least one of the energy, from Zacian over to your other metal Pokemon. That's really cool. But even then, Copperaja has proven to be just a little bit awkward. You can still go double Metal Saucer or Metal Saucer, Zacian Energy Switch or whatever with Klinklang here. But you can also just go Metal Saucer, Twin Energy. Or Energy Switch, Twin Energy. And all of a sudden, this becomes a very, very easy to pay attack. That's why I'm high on this. Yeah, I know it's a stage 2. But you got Rare Candy. You can evolve up manually. It's not like we're exactly hurting for good metal Pokemon at the moment to play. So there are other things you can do in the first couple of turns until you get it rolling. But then you've got a single prize Pokemon that hits 200 damage. Now, interestingly enough, that is less damage than Copperaja, and you've got less HP despite being a stage 2. But again, Copperaja, firstly, it's an awkward attack cost. Secondly, as soon as you get 8 damage counters on, or more, the attack stops working. So it is just kind of awkward all the way around. This is not awkward all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. Not even a little bit. This is nice. The only thing really holding it back is that it's a stage 2, and that sucks. Being a stage 2 sucks. But hitting 200 damage on a single prize Pokemon in an attack that you can easily get rolling in one turn, that doesn't suck. And then Berserker actually really comes in here. Now, there are a few Pokemon V that you will get normally. Things like Tapu Koko or Victini, they will be going down straight away here because they have 200 or less HP. Something like a Zacian won't, it's got 220, but then we remember a single Berserker will get that KO. You are going to be struggling to one-hit KO tag teams, and you're going to be struggling to one-hit KO VMAXs, but you should be getting all non-GX, non-V Pokemon. You should, I mean, with 2 Berserker, you will get any Pokemon V. and pretty much any GX. So okay, you might be 2-hit KOing tag teams and VMAXs. Remember that Pikachu and Zekrom does have resistance, so that will be free Berserker, which does really suck. But actually, if you're 2-hit KOing for free prizes and now 1-hit KOing for 1 prize, you're winning that exchange. I'm not loving the basics of Klinklang, and I'm not loving that it's a stage 2, but when I can just go Metal Saucer, Twin Energy, 200 damage... yeah, I'm kind of loving this. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. Maybe it will just end up being another stage 2 that doesn't work and is awkward. But I just think it's going to work. Maybe not as a top deck, that we'll have to wait and see. But I do think there is potential here. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.